We are all gonna die.
Well, you're the only one playing, so just you.
We all are gonna die.
Then again, I will be honest, it is literally impossible for you to die this session.
We'll see about that.
It's literally impossible. Otherwise, you would not exist.
We'll make
Have
a
not ex-
time paradox incoming.
Oh god. Butterfly effect. Don't move any stones, Largo. Okay. So pay attention to the roll 20. You'll see where you are presently at on the map.
Okay.
Where we last left off, essentially, we're going to do two parts here. As far as present day, you and Nadia and Arcana and Tao all went to sleep in the hut outside the crater once the spot was chasing after you, and you were miraculously saved from poison by Arcana and Placebo. So, since you have been so worn out and you were very fatigued, you decided to rest for the evening. And in which case, Placebo asked you a question beforehand, which, by the way, you called this, asking you what you saw when you died, and you stated you saw the traveler, and thus here we are dreaming about that very scenario. Where we left off from the last time you were in the past was you and the traveler were in a forest, and the traveler was essentially trying to barge his way through to go continue on a major bounty after someone who had a crest who had recently destroyed an entire region to the west. But in the duration while you're in the forest, you came across a small village settlement. Come to find out, he was actually after two of the people there, old partners of his that had burned him in the past, framed him, people who essentially made it to he couldn't go into villages and towns anymore. He became an exile. So he killed the two parents, and as the village burned, we both escaped. This is going to take place about a month after that. It is essentially early January of the new year. It's essentially it's winter out, and you all have traveled west since then, looking for the warrior that the traveler has been looking for. You come across the coast. The traveler recently was in a village and picked up a new lead, a new bounty, and so you all are seeking that out now to keep coin around so you can survive and buy food and supply. So you are in a forest along the edge of a plains in the coast. I'm going to go ahead and shift the map for you. As far as the map goes, there is no enemies here. That is actually a statue.
You mean the thing I'm standing next to, or the actual? What are you talking about? The
What appears to be the
the
ogre at
broken
the very
crystal.
top.
Oh, that. Okay, I didn't scroll up. That's my bad.
Yes, that is a statue. That is essentially a down statue. The traveler and you are deep into the forest. You're near the coast and you're a bit farther south, so it's not as warm as you expect it to be in the winter, at least. So there's still a little bit of green, but it's very lightly snowing around you both. The traveler seems a bit cold, a bit more distant from ever since the events that transpired a month ago. He seems to have taken the words you told him quite to heart, and he's been almost distant to you ever since then. As you are walking down the pathway through the forest, you discover that there's recently some sort of battle here. A caravan has been overturned, trees have been knocked over, there's debris and rubble and crushed stone all over the place. In the distance, you see a very large, almost scary-looking statue that has been toppled over, and it looks like it would take something very, very strong to knock that off of its once very strong mantle. The traveler eyes twitch. He looks around dartedly. You're definitely in the right area. Scenario will start here. What are you doing?
Well, since we just walked in, I guess I will go first to attempt to check out the cart and see if anybody's actually buried underneath it, since everything is overturned.
As you begin walking towards it, the traveler holds out an arm in front of you, halting you.
I look up to you.
He puts a finger to his lips, pressing you to be quiet. He's moving silently, moving forward as he begins looking around. He's rolling spot right now. It seems to him the coast is clear. He looks back to you for a moment, and then motions for you to come up to him.
I will move silently and try to follow him.
Roll the silently check.
I probably should have hotkeyed this.
Okay. You manage to sneak across the downed tree and up next to the traveler. He's perched behind a sign. The lettering on the sign has since been very much deteriorated. You cannot tell what it once said. He kneels down and whispers to you. This is all very recent. I'm not sure where it would have gone to, but upon closer inspection, it looks like it might have headed north. We need to tread this area very quietly. Depending on what's around here, we don't want to be caught off guard.
Shouldn't we just try to get out of here?
He shakes his head. Bounties afoot. If we don't get this, we don't eat.
Wouldn't be the first time.
He scoffs and then begins walking forward towards the caravan. He starts rummaging through the crates, the barrels. Most of the goods in there seem to be different types of cloths and leathers. You recollect that neither of you have eaten in quite some time, so you might be looking at out of fear of starvation. Your rations have been diminished, so the few rations that you have left need to be essentially what's the word I'm looking for? Getting the right word. Dispersed in a more of a poverty sort of manner.
Ration should be rationed.
That's it. Yeah. I didn't think I could say those two words in the same sentence, but yeah.
Well, we just did it. Congratulations. Okay. Can I move and try to search some of the other barrels to help him speed this process up, since we're in a rush for time?
I will rely on your last move silently check. So go ahead.
Go to the other side.
Upon searching the crates and the chests, you find more clothing. You find some shoes. You find what appears to be some very fine leather armor. Hint: this is the leather armor that you are now donning. The traveler moves around to the other side of the caravan. He steps over twigs and rocks, making sure he's making as little noise as possible.
For the most part, I'm going to stay rather silent, since we are just trying to make as little noise as possible still. I'm going to take the time and do a quick glance around the scenery, just to make sure if I spot anything that could be perceived as danger.
Okay, roll spot check. It appears to be there's some wildlife around. They seem very cautious. They seem to be watching you very cautiously and not moving an inch. It appears that they've been spooked and frightened recently. Almost instantaneously, you see a very large shadow hit the ground and move and can't think of that word. Essentially moves very, very quick and it disappears just as fast as you see it. But it was huge. It engulfed both you, the traveler, and the caravan.
Do I need to make another move silently check to go next to the traveler and ask him what that was or what he thinks that might have been?
No, I'll rely on your same roll. It's good
Well,
enough.
I'll just move to the other side and whisper into him. Say, did you see that?
He's looking up. He doesn't respond immediately.
I guess that's a no.
He looks down to you. That be our bounty. It seems to know we're here. We can't rely on tree cover for long. After all, down to that one. So I'm sure it can potentially find us if it really wants to.
It seems to already know we're here then.
He gives you a look. Well, it appears so, yeah.
So is there really any sense in hiding at this point?
Well, we have the advantage of being smaller targets compared to it. So if we keep low, then we can possibly move around and use the environment to our advantage.
I nod in agreement.
It's strange though. Normally, it wouldn't go to such effort to cause so much destruction, unless of course he kind of teeters off as he begins walking down the path. No, it couldn't be. He forgoes moving silently to run to where the edge of the tree is.
I'm gonna follow. I'm still gonna attempt to move silently though, but I'm also gonna be wary and continuously look around to see if I might spot it before it jumps out again at us. Since I don't actually need to be in a rush.
He ducks behind the tree trunk that's next to you. Not like quickly, just casually. He seems to be looking over the statue of the ogre. He can't seem to have a good visual, so he crouches and begins moving closer to the downed statue.
I will still follow, keeping a certain distance behind him, just so I can keep the same line of sight on a lot of the scenery still. Did he ever mention what the bounty actually was?
He didn't. He's been, again, very to himself, not giving you as much information. He gazes off and glances and investigates into the distance. He's keeping level behind the statue, but it appears he leers over it into the north. His eyes widen as he ducks back down. He presses his back against the cool statue edge, and is now facing towards you. He sighs.
I hold my hand out like in a questioning look with a raised eyebrow.
He pauses for a minute and then looks to you. It appears we're next to its hideout. Its nest.
Take a couple steps closer. Well, that would explain why it's taking everything so cautiously, I guess.
It would explain the overprotectiveness, yes. You are learning.
I say I learned from the best.
He rolls his eyes. He motions to you for you to look over the arm of the statue.
I slowly approach and glance as needed.
What do your elf eyes see?
I guess I should roll a spot check for that, shouldn't I?
Yep. For reference, you are 13 years old.
I had a feeling since it was only a month after the last incident.
Yeah, I don't even remember or not.
I did.
Your spot checker yields that as the path goes on further, the foliage begins to more or less die as you see a very much of a rocky cavern up ahead. It seems to have been an old village or town or capital, city perhaps, but it seems that rubble's completely taken it over. You see burning flames off to the distance. They don't look to be human or man-made. They do appear to be distant and are lighting the insides of the caverns.
Destroyed and run down caverns. Nothing too greatly to note from the style of the forest that we're in right now.
His eyes don't stop looking off to the south. He kind of nasally mentions, "What color are the flames?"
As a thing that I probably wasn't paying attention to, I glance back and double check.
The flames appear to be more of an orange and black.
That's odd. As I mumble, as I actually had looked.
It's not an average fire.
I shake my head. What does it mean?
Well, boy, it appears it means it's been corrupted. We're hunting a phoenix.
Wait, what? I tripped up slightly louder than intentional.
Shh, keep your voice down. Do you want to? Do you want to give it our location immediately? It may know we're here, but doesn't have our precise location. We don't want to get away that quickly. We'll be as black as those flames over there.
Well, I go back to whispering again.
Yeah,
A phoenix?
a phoenix. Normally, phoenixes aren't necessarily evil entities. When they're corrupted, though, there's no telling what they might do.
I just hold my hand and gesture to that the wreckage.
Yeah, exactly. Then again, phoenixes aren't technically territorial. They usually nest far higher, but this area, he looks around. There's something about it.
Something
It's
weird.
not often you see a statue of an ogre, is it?
That's what it seems like.
Doesn't that seem weird to you?
Kind of, but I mean, we've seen a lot of weird stuff in the last forever.
But why would someone make a statue of an ogre? Why not something human? There have been orcs or ogres in this area in millennia.
Well, maybe it was trying to be a scarecrow for crops before everything got overgrown this bad.
He gives you an odd look. Does this look like some sort of farm to you, boy?
We've seen weird farms. I mean, there was the one watermelon patch that had what was it, a giant worm guarding it.
Get your head in the game, boy. This isn't the time. It's strange. You don't detect some sort of evil here.
Well, yeah, everything seems off, but again, off is kind of our normality at this point.
I don't know why I took this stupid job. Who the hell hunts a phoenix?
Apparently we do.
The coin is too good.
Well, then let's just get it done.
All right.
I don't think we should do
So,
it, but we signed up for it, so we have to.
I'll only tell you this once. If you want to, now's your chance to back out. This isn't like any normal foe that we faced before, especially since it's been corrupted. If you wish to sit back and let me handle it, I can.
It doesn't sound like you're that confident.
Doesn't it though? I've not taken on a phoenix since my younger days. We'll see how I hold up.
Now, let's see how you hold up, old man.
He smirks. He peers his head over the statue again, closely examining the surrounding. Why did the attack here, though? Who was here that it was forced to break down all this stuff?
Well, this is a complete shot in the dark. Maybe a corrupted phoenix actually turns things to stone. And this could have actually been an ogre.
Ogres haven't been around here in aeons, and phoenixes aren't known to turn their prey into stones. There are other creatures that are far more deadly than phoenixes that do that.
But corruption does strange things to everything, from what you've told me.
That'd be very true. The caravan, though, why are there no bodies?
Maybe no one actually died and got away?
That doesn't sound right. You don't just get away from a phoenix. They have that air superiority, and technically, they could burn you to a crisp.
Maybe it's a
There's no
blind phoenix.
evidence of that.
Maybe the corruption blinded it and it let them get away? Look, I'm trying to be optimistic at this point.
Sounds to me like you're just being stupid and naive.
I just shrug.
All right. If you were alone, how would you approach? Take this as a lesson.
Well, since we don't know where our target is, even though we think we've been spotted at this point. I'll look around. I try to take in differences in actual atmosphere. Um, is down here cliffs or anything in the bottom right corner, or is this all just flat land for forest?
Oh, there's cliffs. Again, you're in the cliffs, so those are cliffs as well. High sitting stones.
And so, is the north end of the map, um, is it sloped down into all the caves in the village?
Yes, I can actually go ahead and show you the map real quick.
Well, if I was the Phoenix, or whatever's supposed to be guarding here, I'd probably be watching from the south, since the base is to the north. That way, I could corner whoever goes for my nest instead of who's really trying to get away. That way, I'd block an exit and defend at the same time.
Very astute. The real question, though, is it roosting?
Well, if it was roosting, then we could mostly probably see it from now. But I don't know.
See, I'm thinking it's being territorial for a reason. There's obviously something in there it doesn't want other people to have.
Maybe it's had eggs. Maybe it's just
Possibly.
trying to defend its young.
Potentially. But if that's the case and it's corrupted, they'll need to kill the eggs too. Can't have things like that running around Mythos.
It's unfortunate.
If it knows we're here, then it's probably circling up above us. Can your elf eyes see if there's any presence above?
I turn to look. Do you want to search, or do you want the actual spot for that too? Since I know what
Search.
I'm looking for.
You actually feel the area around you is getting very hot, abnormally hot for the season. You do see what appear to be like dark specks of smoke in the air, as though, and it seems to be all over the place. So, to your knowledge, you would probably estimate that it, yes, is circling.
I would explain to him and point out where everything is smoking at, where the plumes of smoke.
Hmm. Well, we could make this quite easy for us as well, but there's also, well, some risks involved. We can make a run for it, dive straight into the caves. That way, you'll have to land to engage. The only risk is we'll be cornered. We'll be inside its territory, and on its own home front, and in a cave. Worst of all,
Well, if we could,
phoenixes aren't known for breathing fire, but when you get close to them, they can burn entire regions to a crisp.
that's kind of something I could help with. But
And
at the
that's what I'm
same
counting
time,
on.
if we trap it in the cave, then it really can't fly very far, so we could have an easier chance of actually getting to it.
I just think sitting out here makes us sitting ducks.
Whack.
With that quack, he runs forward into the north and into the cliffs.
I jump over the arm and just take off after him.
He begins running further into the cliffside.
We will continue following him in.
As he approaches the interior of the cave, he ducks behind the pillar of the lip of it.
Is there another lip on this side too?
There is.
I'll take that side.
You hear very loud screeching above you. It sounds like a very agitated bird's call.
While that is going on, I look deeper into the cave to see if I actually see any nests or eggs or anything like that too. I guess it's a search.
You feel a very loud rumble as what it seems to be it landing outside. And you are running. You are walking further into the cave.
Well, I was saying that from where my position right here, I was trying to see if I could see any eggs or young or anything like that.
Okay. Can you roll an investigate check?
Investigate.
Okay. You can't see the eggs from here. While you're doing that, though, the traveler pulls out something from his satchel. He begins rubbing his hands together. He yells, "Silvyr! Get back deeper into the cave."
With that hesitation, I start moving deeper into the cave.
He joins you as well as he turns around and faces the cave entrance. As the phoenix begins trying to enter the cave, he throws something up the ceiling above the entrance. And you see a very bright explosion take place as rocks begin falling down across the entrance.
I nervously look back as the cave-in begins.
Get back a bit. We don't know if these ceilings are load bearing or not. That should buy us some time. We won't keep it out, and there's likely some other entrances around. But
Didn't we?
we should use this time wisely.
Let's say, didn't we want it in here though?
We do. It'll find its way in, but we need to make sure we have our surroundings nailed down so we know what kind of advantages we can keep. It's best to know your surroundings before you fight it and before actually taking to the action.
Yeah, but now we're guaranteed not to have an escape plan.
It'll find a way in. I'm
I'm
sure of that.
I'm not worried about it finding a way in. I'm worried about us finding a way out.
Don't worry, I got that covered.
I fold my arms, questioning at him. You sure about that?
Hey, I've led you this far without getting you killed thus far, haven't I?
I open my mouth without saying anything, raising a finger, and just close my mouth. And do it again.
Don't give me that. Look around. We don't have much time.
I sigh and shake my head, and then try to see if what else I can find in here. Anything of interest.
Look for the nest. It's better to have some leverage if it comes in.
That's a spot. If it's a search, it's only one more.
Sorry, what?
I rolled a spot if it
Okay.
was a search. If you wanted a search instead, just add one.
Yeah, search.
Then it's
You
26.
find the interior of the caves to be not going back very far. There appear to be two entrances, one here and one here. Of course. Over here, however, you do see a lot of fire, a lot of light. And inside there you do see what appears to be a nest.
Well, since that is supposed to be very heated, uh, do you have enough light to see?
Oh yeah, there's fire all over the place inside
No,
here.
I'm asking, uh, Father, if there's enough light for him to see normally.
Yeah, I see just fine. There's plenty of light in here, and my old eyes can definitely tell.
Well, I think I might have found the interesting part as I move towards where all this entrance for the fire itself and whatnot, and I'll start taking in what I can there. Since unfortunately we have to kill the eggs, I figure the heat, if I take it away from them, they might just die from getting cold instead of us having to smash them.
As you're doing that, you begin hearing the outside of the cave beginning like a very loud bashing as you begin to feel the rocks that are now are covering the entrance are being torn off.
Well, sounds like he's going to be coming through the front door instead of finding a new way in.
I may have jumped the gun and assuming there's other ways in. I need to go back to Plan A then.
So what you're saying is I was right again?
Shut up and keep absorbing.
You want me to make the actual concentration check for it?
I do.
Really bad.
You struggle. You get a bit in, and it begins to feel a bit cooler in the cave, but you don't absorb the entirety of the flames.
Well, I'm just going to have to keep at it. I guess it's my own mental strain about even not wanting to kill the eggs, since they haven't had a chance at life or anything.
You hear a very loud scream as it sounds absolutely horrific as it begins tearing through the rocks and stone. We don't have time for this, Silver. Hurry up.
Yeah. I'll make another concentration check. Damn it.
No, it's a very slow process.
The corruption's slowing me down.
Move past it. You can get by that. Don't let a little bit of corruption stop you. We don't have time for this anyways.
I know you seem to know everything, but corrupted fire doesn't feel the same as regular fire. I'm sorry.
He moves in, begins digging through his pack. God damn, it's hot in here.
I'm working as fast as I can. I'm sorry.
Just get back.
That was a third concentration check for that. I start moving towards
As he
the
says that,
room.
he managed to absorb a good bit of the fire. It feels hotter than usual. It doesn't feel right to you. It's making you quite nauseous almost.
I try to push past the feelings. I don't have time to feel weak anymore. We're already in danger enough.
That's right. That's right. Almost there. He pulls out what appears to be a black ball. It seems almost gelatinous in his hand. He bounces it, and then he concentrates. He starts chanting and putting his fingers onto it. All right, I got it from here. You can stop. Don't wear yourself out. He throws the black ball into the area, and you feel a vast amount of energy from the inside as it explodes and it kind of pushes back the hairs on your head and the clothes in your body. It causes a large gust as the fire begins to eliminate in the room. You feel a cool breeze begin to go through the cave, and as the flames simmer and die, and the cinders are left around, the eggs are the only things that are left intact.
Really wish we didn't have to do this.
It's better to take care of things like this now, as opposed to giving a chance at life and to cause destruction later.
Yeah, but that's just it. They never had a chance.
And if things were to be evil, would you give it the chance? It's a corrupted phoenix, Silvyr. We don't have time to debate such things.
You're right,
Listen,
unfortunately.
I know you think my morals are questionable, and that's been the case for a while now. But it's best not to take chances and risks.
I sigh again. I know you're right. That's just how I feel about it, though.
One day you'll be a daddy, and you'll know.
God damn it.
He grabs another black ball from the back of his satchel, begins doing the exact same chant to it. He walks further. He walks further into the alcove and begins examining the eggs. These things are hot as hell. What are you
Well,
doing?
you're about to cool them off, aren't you?
That's not how this thing works. These are called black bombs. They're known to dispel energy in an area. I'm not going to take away the heat from the eggs, but I'm having this one in reserve for the phoenix when it busts through.
Well, won't the eggs just chill and die at this point? I mean, we've taken away their entire heat source for the moment.
Can't be sure if they're not going to hatch soon. Besides, if you know anything about phoenixes, they don't die easily. And
Fortunately,
as
I
he
don't.
does that, you see a large amount of rocks explode from the interior of the cave and land all around you as debris shatters against the walls. You begin to see an extremely bright light source from the entrance to the cave. It's dark. It feels off.
I don't like anything to do with this situation.
Well, this is what we signed up for. I gave you the chance to back out when you could.
I don't have time to back out. Let alone if I back out, who's gonna stop protect you?
You underestimate me.
And you underestimate me all the time.
You're young, kid.
Yeah, so what, old man?
Besides, it's not my job to keep you safe. It's my job to keep you smart.
Well, let's get this over with.
All right. Do you have anything that can crush these eggs?
What I actually have in my inventory at this point. No, you didn't leave me anything in there, so. Just the cave itself.
just a cave.
I mean, I can start breaking them open myself, but
Well,
I
you
take a
don't have
look.
any other choice, I guess.
I
He
take a
pulls
quick
out
look
he
around.
pulls out a sword from his satchel side. He's wielding it one-handed, keeping the black bomb in the other.
That's a search check to see if there's anything else sitting around the room that I might be able to use.
Okay. You see a lot of corpses around, a lot of bones and other uh, effects from certain travelers that have been in and out of the area. A lot of large rocks. A
Anything?
few of
Any?
a few of the travelers' corpses um, have weapons. You find an axe. You see a sword. See a shield in the distance.
I guess I pick up the shield. I guess
All
I'm
right.
about to have to Captain America this stuff.
The traveler raises the sword and swings it down on one of the eggs. The sword shatters, and the traveler is taken aback.
Shoddy craftsmanship?
Damn sword's rusty. What do we got over there?
An axe, the shield, another couple swords. I'll toss him one of the other swords since I'm standing next to it anyway.
He catches it, very briefly and quickly examines its make as he takes it and swings it down against the egg. It deflects. It doesn't actually cause any damage to the egg whatsoever.
I am gonna attempt to slam the shield into one of them. See if I might be able to do it myself.
It'd be a bash technically.
Yeah.
Roll a d20 plus your strength. So it's strength check.
No, it's not 5 yet. It's only 3.
Okay, you bash the shield against the egg. Right as the shield connects to it, you feel a searing amount of heat go through the shield to your arm. It doesn't actually shatter the egg, unfortunately. There's no damage whatsoever.
Well, I guess it's plan B. I try to focus, and I'll see if I can just try to absorb the heat from the egg itself.
Okay. Given your last absorption, I'm gonna go ahead and set your energy to a certain amount.
I thought you were controlling that already as it stood.
Yeah, I just forgot to put that in. So you were at 47%.
Okay.
So as you go ahead and roll a concentration check. Okay, you failed to absorb any fire energy from it. It is technically not fire energy. It's just exceedingly hot from the flames before.
Well, it was heat energy. It was worth a shot.
Damn it. Well, I don't think we're gonna have enough time to do another attempt. So it's best to use this as leverage. Get ready to defend. That Phoenix is going to burst through here at any moment.
I nod in acknowledgement, and I'll take up, kind of holding the shield in front of me still, just for a defensive stance.
The traveler walks towards the the middle of the cave. He seems strangely calm. And as that happens, the Phoenix busts through the rest of the cave as it begins ducking in. Its eyes are flaring with dark flames. It focuses on the traveler and then on you, and then on the eggs. Stay near the eggs. If it thinks we can destroy him, then it might hesitate.
I don't leave the second cave entrance of the area right here. But I still hold the shield up in front of me just in case he tries to blast me with some fire or something.
The Phoenix rears its head and begins charging towards the traveler. Roll initiative. Okay, 19. Wow, fuck. You're actually going first, followed by the traveler, followed by the Phoenix.
And this is where everything began. Okay. I guess I will try to, even though I think this might be a bad idea, I'm going to try to throw a corrupted fireball at it. I've got to expend some before it starts blowing us up anyway.
Okay, how much energy do you want to expend?
Since I have 47, let's just round it to 20.
You want to bring it down to 20? Or you want to spend 20?
I spend 20 just to do it. So then it would be.
Okay, so you have 27 energy left. Okay. Power usage?
I know I had power usage early on. Why don't I have power usage now?
Your check.
Do that then.
Okay, you do manage to throw out the fireball. It does hit the Phoenix right in the chest. The Phoenix stops. It's a charge towards the traveler, and it looks to you. Its eyes look somewhat confused, but then it shakes its head. It didn't appear that the fireball damaged it.
I figured. It was worth a shot.
The traveler withdraws 5 feet and keeps in front of you as he tosses the black bomb into the Phoenix's face. I'm gonna roll for thrown weapons. Wow, I actually missed, and he actually hits the ceiling. The ceiling explodes as some rubble falls around the Phoenix, not onto the building. And the traveler, its eyes get wide as he then crouches down and prepares for impact.
A little too excited there?
Shut up! I tripped.
While standing still. Got it.
Just stay near the eggs. The Phoenix goes in and it begins flapping its wings in the very low, like, ceiling span. You feel a gust of wind around you, but it's hot. It's very, very hot, and the flames on the Phoenix's body begin to engulf the area. It almost feels as though its anger is beginning to heat the entire cave around you. It has now been buffed. It'll be your turn.
I am going to attempt to absorb the fire from the generic area at this point, and the Phoenix, if I may.
Okay, roll a concentration check.
All these low rolls.
You absorb a little bit. It brings your percentage back to 40. The Phoenix looks surprised as the air begins getting a little bit cooler. It looks around for the source of the quenching of its flame, but it screeches in anger. What else are you doing?
I think that would be it. I'll just hold action in case I need to do anything between them.
Okay. The Traveler takes a sword in its hand and moves in to attack the Phoenix, trying to strike at its neck, rolling to hit. He does hit the Phoenix. He slices around its neck, dealing 34 damage. of course, as the sword hits the phoenix and slices through its feathers and quills, the sword breaks instantly. And as he holds on to the scabbard, you see what appears to be that it's melted and bent and charred, or the tip that's left essentially.
After he lands, I'm just gonna shout shield, and I'm gonna throw him the shield.
Not even looking to you, he reaches back and grabs the shield when you throw it, and then braces for impact. The phoenix raises its talons and lands down on the traveler almost immediately after he equipped the shield, and his talons begin tearing onto the shield itself. The traveler is now on his back, defending himself.
Do I still have an action, or do I have, or did I use it to actually throw the shield to him?
You use the action to throw the shield to him.
Just making sure.
Yeah, I got you. Phoenix is going to deal some damage to the traveler. It deals 43 damage. It is your turn.
Since I remember where all the weapons in the other room were, I'm just gonna back in and grab some of them and come back. Do I have? I guess I still have that axe. Did he have any more swords and whatnot in there too, or what?
There was no other sword around. There's only the axe and the sword left.
Okay, well, I'd take the axe and the sword, come back and slide him the sword on the ground. Shout sword as it scrapes along the floor.
He reaches for it and attempts to grab it a few times, and he does eventually, grabbing onto the scabbard. What else are you doing your turn?
I guess I'll just try to absorb some more of the fire to make it slightly cooler in here again.
Concentration.
Low after low roll.
Okay. You absorb a little bit. You're up to 52%. The area gets a bit cooler. You begin sweating though. It's beginning to get a bit fiery in there. Traveler, now equipped with the sword and still defending with the shield, takes it and begins hacking into the talons of the phoenix. You see a dark blood begin spewing out. The phoenix recoils and screeches in retaliation. The traveler then immediately stands up, sword and shield in hand, and he begins holding the shield up as he runs forward with the sword, aiming for one of its wings. As a reaction, however, the phoenix is going to attempt to take flight, but doesn't of course get very far. But the wingspan blows the traveler and you back, as both of you are blown into the cave, unless you want to defend for that somehow.
I don't think we really can. I mean, I could try to brace myself along the floor, but I don't...
You could roll a reflex, I mean.
Okay. I'll roll it. I just didn't see how it would work.
Nope. No.
it's just like being poisoned all over again.
He resists, but he's still blown back a bit. You are blown back in there.
I let out a yell as I'm pushed back in. Am I blown off my feet, or...
Yes, you're blown off your feet.
Can I make a tumble check to try to get back up on my feet without having to
lose
time?
Yes, you jump back on your feet, martial artist style.
Slam into your back. You just do a backflip onto your feet and start coming back.
The traveler, braced from the wingspan, begins moving forward against it very slowly as the phoenix begins flapping even further. He attempts to reach into his bag, but as he does so, I rolled a 1. Haha. The bag comes flying off of his shoulders and blows into the cave along with you. He screams, "Shit!"
I don't think I can try to catch it, can I?
You could try reflexing.
Do so. Nope.
No, you don't manage to catch it as it hits the wall next to you.
Shit!
Very slowly begins falling to the floor. The phoenix begins igniting its wings as it continues flapping. As now fire is being gusted into the cave. It will be your turn here.
As I see that, I'm just gonna say, fuck!
Watch your damn language!
I'll watch my damn language when you start watching yourself.
Just shut up and absorb it before it consumes us.
That was the first thing I was gonna do, and then I was gonna go grab the bag. So, there's the concentration check. Oh! That's nice. For once.
Whoa. No, you absorb all of it before it even gets to the travel. The flames begin sifting into the cave, but almost immediately they go around the traveler and into your very person. You're now at 100% energy. The phoenix is immensely confused and lands on its talon, kind of limping.
I'm gonna go quickly grab his bag.
Silvyr! Bag!
Throw it to him. Bag!
Rolling dex check to catch it. I'm rolling.
Oh, you're rolling, not me. Got it.
He catches it. He begins digging through it, and it withdraws another black bomb. He very quickly begins chanting. It will be the phoenix's turn. The phoenix cautiously steps forward and faces the entrance of the cave. It seems to be looking at its eggs, and then to you. It caws and screams very loudly, almost pleading in a way.
I look very distraught at it.
Do what?
I look very distraught at it. With the sorrow in my eyes in the first place.
Its wings begin to engulf in a flame again. As it then launches some quills towards you. So I'm rolling to hit against Silvyr. This is a ranged attack. What is your AC now? So not used to your level 3 character.
18, but...
Okay, it does hit. Do you want to defend?
I would attempt to dodge. Though
Okay.
still reflex.
You're going to need to be rolling for that. Okay. No, you don't dodge. Okay, rolling damage. Okay, it's going to be 26 points of damage. The quills that hit you are searing hot. It does catch your clothes on fire almost instantaneously.
I immediately start trying to pat the fire out.
The traveler yells and grunts. He readjusts his position to be between you and the phoenix. He yells back at you. It seems to be figuring out they're absorbing its energy.
Either that or it's trying to not let us kill its children.
Alright, it will be your turn.
Do I actually get myself put out?
Can you roll fortitude?
Fortitude.
Yes, you do manage to douse the flames.
Okay. I have to get rid of some of this fire regardless. I don't want to just throw the fire at the phoenix because that just sounds like a bad idea. I guess I'll have to just throw it further back into the cave behind me. Unfortunately, it'll go for the eggs.
keep in mind that cave. You're essentially at the back end of the cave right now.
Oh, I thought there was more room in there than what I
Back
have.
against.
Because if I'm at 100%, I can't absorb anything. Well, not that I wouldn't try. Um, I guess I'll move slightly closer still, and we'll just have to throw the fire forward then. Um, I guess blasting the Phoenix with 100% of it's not going to do a whole lot then.
Okay.
All bad ideas, but I guess I'll just shoot it forward and try to see if I can throw it out the cave instead of into the Phoenix.
All right.
Power usage. That is what you want.
Okay. You expunge just a mediocre amount. So I'll go ahead and adjust your percentages. Okay. So you expunge about 35% of your energy as it misses the Phoenix and goes right out the cave entrance. The Phoenix looks confused, but it's not relenting. What else are you doing?
We'll just have to take a defensive stance. And attempt not to be blown back into the room again. I'm also going to make sure I'm behind the Traveler overall in case he loses his bag again.
Wow, expectations?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Traveler is finished chanting for the black bomb as he holds it in his hand and bounces it. He throws it to the Phoenix, rolling thrown weapons check.
Does the Yo Pokeball go?
I mean, why not? Pokeball, go!
God damn it.
He throws the black ball and it smacks the Phoenix in the chest. Almost instantaneously, you see a very bright explosion as all the fire is consumed off the Phoenix. What's left is this black bird with red quills, and it's almost though the red is like cinders, essentially. It looks dazed, confused, very much fatigued as it shakes its head and begins trying to outstretch its wings. Well, that seems to douse the flames at least.
One thing left to do then. As I say under my breath, I'm sorry.
The Traveler smirks as he tightens his grip on the sword and shield and puts up a defensive stance. The Phoenix shakes the daze out of his eyes and looks to the Traveler. It's hatred and anger is essentially fueling it. It begins charging at the Traveler, like attempting to headbutt it. Sorry. Rolling charge. All right, he does hit the Traveler as the Phoenix kind of bends its wings so it can fit into the cave as it charges the Traveler and you further into the cave. Do you want to take a defensive action?
Is the Traveler actually being knocked into me, or am I...
He's blocking it. He actually has his shield up, and he's being pushed back, but he's still defending against the charge.
Okay, can I try to fortify him, like by catching his back and pushing back?
Yes, you may. Roll a strength check.
Strength check.
I'll add that to fortification. You do actually fortify him enough. You and him both stop the Phoenix from charging further in there as you hold the Phoenix back from the eggs. You can see the Phoenix's eyes glancing from you to the eggs, from you to the eggs, almost nervously as it screeches very loudly. It is now your turn.
Well,
You are presently fortifying defense, so you are technically in defensive action at the moment.
well, does it feel like no, I can just do this in roleplay. You think you got this yet?
I'm rolling strength check. Yeah, I got it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to jump over the traveler and axe kick the phoenix in the head, since I'm sure its head's much larger than anything anyway.
Okay, roll to hit. And roll jump. Okay, you managed to hit both.
There is the low ass damage.
Okay, you kick the phoenix in the head. As the head is knocked to the side, the phoenix loosens his charge momentum and falls to his side, relinquishing the traveler from the defensive stance. The traveler readies the sword and walks and runs up to the phoenix's neck and swings towards it, rolling damage. Since the phoenix is technically prone, traveler deals 53 points of damage, slicing the phoenix's neck open as black blood begins spewing out. The phoenix cries and screeches loudly. It is presently dying and is not making an action. Your turn.
I will slunk back into the room with the eggs, leaving the traveler to do what he must. Still, again, whispering under my breath, I'm sorry.
Okay, so you say you're holding your action.
Yeah. Outside of
All right.
moving into the, back into the, outlet room.
All right. The traveler takes a good look at the phoenix and then back to Silvyr. You did a good job, boy.
I always do good work.
He raises the sword and then smashes it down to the phoenix's neck again, doing a coup de grace. The phoenix screams one last time, and as its voice dies off, it begins fading into ash. Before doing that, though, it gives one last look to its eggs. Combat is now officially over. The traveler drops the sword and shield and begins dusting his hand. See? Wasn't that hard, was it?
I just don't know.
The plan may have had a few holes in it, but it wound up to be pretty good in the end. You did good work out there, Silvyr.
I just wish we didn't have to do it in the first place.
It's always the best to put down corruption before it consumes the world. Otherwise, you'll be more prone to it. You'll learn that one of these days.
I can tell you're right, but
It sucks, I know, and it's gonna feel like shit doing what we gotta do. But what has to be done has to be done. That's the way the world works, unfortunately.
I just nod as I walk over to him with the distraught look in my eyes still. So I guess this is it.
Traveler looks back to the ashes of the phoenix. We don't have very long. It'll come back to life soon. I'll be weaker than it was, but the best way to dispose of a phoenix before it comes back to life is to disperse the ashes. It's almost like, well, decapitating a person and putting its pieces in other places. Take some ashes as he scoops them up and puts them into your hand. They feel warm to the touch.
That's not the imagery that I signed up for. But I take the images. Yeah, no, that was in character.
Gotcha. Well, if we don't do it, we're gonna have a hell of a time on our hands. It'll come back to life at half life, and it'll be more pissed off than it was previously.
All right. What do we need to actually turn in so we can get credit for this?
He begins putting some ashes into a satchel, and then puts some more into a different satchel, and then repeating it about 4 more times. We'll bring you back to town, give him the ashes, and we'll collect the reward.
Well, we should get going then.
He looks back to the eggs. Not quite done here yet, boy.
Do we absolutely have to?
He gives you that look.
I told you. I really don't want to do it. Let alone we couldn't damage them anyway.
Maybe not by normal means. The mother has been reinforcing those eggs ever since she birthed them. With her gone, they may be weaker now. And with the flames gone, they shouldn't be as hot to melt iron and steel. However, I might have a tool in my bag that can probably help with this. He begins sifting through his bag. Can I have you do a search check?
Have me do a search check. I can do a search check. Search check acquired.
Alright. You have no choice in this, but you do actually look around and you find what appears to be a phoenix feather and pick it up.
I don't mention anything yet. And I'll add it to my bag.
Alright. The traveler pulls out what appears to be a small marble. He begins chanting to it and then sets it down very, very gently on the outside the nest of the egg. He very carefully stands back up and begins backing away from it, keeping his eye on it very carefully. He turns around and looks to you, and he nods. We should go then.
What's that gonna do?
It's a time device. It should do what needs to be done here in a matter of minutes. We probably shouldn't linger, though.
Well, then let's get going.
He begins walking towards exit the cave.
I'm gonna try to stay slightly ahead of him so I don't have to look back.
Moving back to the map. The traveler catches up to you and puts his hand over your shoulder from behind you. We're doing the right thing. I know you don't think so, and I know your heart is good. But there's just times where, well, you know,
One day, I'm gonna be strong enough where this won't have to happen all the time.
you can't save everyone, Silver.
That won't
Try
stop me
as you
from
might,
trying.
you'll just cause more harm and emotional damage to yourself.
I don't know about that.
Once you find someone to protect, and then realize how futile it is to keep an eye on that person 24/7, you'll realize that I'm right. You can aspire to protect one person, several people, a party, a group, or even all of humanity. You can't keep your eyes on everybody. Eventually, you'll slip up and you'll lose what's most important to you, just like I did.
And I'm sure the least I can do is at least respect them at that point. Do the right thing. Make sure they get the services that they need.
Respect and everything is fine. Just don't get yourself killed. The most important thing you can do is look after yourself and everything that you are doing. If you feel responsible for others, you'll just cause more pain and inconvenience to your own being. Do you think your parents had that same standpoint as you do? They tossed you out just as fast as you can inconvenience to them.
My eyes shift away.
His grip on your shoulder tightens, and he relinquishes and then starts walking ahead of you.
That's exactly why I have to be better than them. I start following him.
He stops. He does not turn around and look at you and keeps looking forward. Then be better. Just don't be stupid. There's many evils in this world, and you can't stop them all. Just don't be blind enough to turn into one of them.
I don't know that everything is quite that black and white.
You see his head noticeably look down. Not everything's black and white. You're right. But when everything's all gray, you can't quite tell what's what anymore.
You never know. The world might just be silver.
He begins walking. You hear him slightly chuckle. You know, Silver, you're a good kid. A bit dumb, but a good kid.
And you're not such a half-bad father either.
Well, who knows? Maybe one day you'll be looking after someone yourself. Just don't be as dumb as I've been and taking the wrong crowd.
I just hope this someone's not quite as dumb as I was sometimes.
Well, you've certainly trouble. He kind of looks to his side and you see him wink at you.
I nudge him in the shoulder as I pass, or the side as I pass. A little trouble's always good for you, though.
Well, that's very true. It certainly keeps things exciting. Gotta keep the blood gun going somehow, especially at my age.
Yeah, you don't have much blood left, do you?
I got enough left to bash your head in. Keep it up.
We'll see about that. Speaking about having enough energy for all that, I'm getting hungry again. Can we eat yet?
Well, we gotta go cash in this reward first, and then we can buy some actual good food. The rations we have left aren't nothing but crap.
I shrug. They're better than nothing, though. maybe
I need
instead of
some meat.
maybe instead of getting all the expensive food for once, maybe we should just invest in more food, more rations. That way we can not have to do these kind of jobs.
When you lived as long as I have, and in the shape I've been, you turn not to you try to enjoy luxury as much as possible, and when you can get it. So I may spend most of my money on good food, but at least that's my few pleasures left in this life. Not knocking people's teeth in.
Also seems like a slew of magical things. So how many more of those things? How many more of those black balls and marbles do you even have?
He noticeably shifts his bag on his shoulders. A few left, I think. You know, not everything in this bag is all black orbs and balls, though. Got some interesting things in here too. I could even put out as much heat as you can with your energy full if I really want to. He winks to you.
I don't know. I'm pretty hot stuff. I'll spout some fire in my hand and just toss it to the side. Not much of anything, just a little something, just to gesture it.
Well, we'll see about that. He begins walking off through the path, and as he exits the map,
I'm gonna pointedly jump on top of the cart and take one last look around before we head back.
as you look around, you feel an immense heat from the area you came from. You hear you well before that immense heat, you feel and hear a loud pop from the cave entrance, and then a vast amount of heat.
I hope it's all okay. And I'll hop down and catch up.
Okay, and as that happens, you all leave the area, and as the traveler leaves you to briefly to go to the town to collect the reward, he comes back with a large satchel of gold and and a few sacks of food. Of course, the good stuff.
Of course.
We're gonna be eating off this for a few weeks. I even got some extra supplies.
Well, good. With how
He
fast you eat food, this might not last a week.
well, you burn a lot of calories and you're as badass as I am.
I shrug. I don't know if badass is the words I'd use.
Well, it should still last us a while. He gives you a look over.
Uh,
Uh,
you you must have really got beaten up in there if you had no comeback for that.
let's just say I'm in a good mood. That leather vest on you looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'll hold on to it for a while.
Well, good thing. Maybe you can actually grow into it. It looks a bit too big for you.
I shrug and just start fiddling with the straps. Meh, maybe one day.
Let's set up camp then here.
What, you don't want to sleep in the bed in the inn this time?
Not about that life. I like the food, but much prefer the great outdoors as far as hospitality goes. I find nature's more polite than people.
Ain't that the truth?
He begins setting down his bag, begins pulling out camping supplies.
I'll help him start setting up the tent and everything.
Eventually, you both set up all the camping stuff, the tents, and now night has quickly passed by, and you both over a campfire.
So since we're here now, what's the next step?
Well, gotta keep tracking down that warrior.
Right, that's what we're here for.
Well, we're here for here was just a pit stop. We need money for food. Can't go hunting down a warrior of great strength on an empty stomach.
Sometimes I'm wondering if we're more on just for pit stops than we are actually looking for this guy.
Well, we have plenty of time. Besides, I think I'm finally to the point where I've taught you everything I know.
I doubt that.
Well, give yourself some more credit there, boy. You picked up a lot of tools of the trade here. You seem to handle yourself pretty well in a fight, last I checked. And you take orders just fine, so
It seems I can only take orders when danger's around, though.
yeah. Well, that's the most important part. If you can't take orders in the heat of the moment, then they're just screwed. It's all easy from there, trust me. His eyes mellow as they gaze into the fire. He begins partaking of some of the food that he recently purchased. So, Silver,
Yeah?
what do you want to do when you get older? You can't keep traveling with an old man like me. Eventually, you'll break away and do your own thing. What do you got in mind?
I really have no idea. I might figure a way to make some money without having to do all this.
He raises an eyebrow. What do you mean by all this?
Hunting monsters and whatnot. I don't know if all that's for me.
He takes a bite of his food. Well, you can always join the Hunters Guild.
Yeah, but they send you mostly out to deal with other monsters and such. I don't know if I have it in me.
It's not all. It's not all about that, Silver. Hunters do more than just fight monsters. They also investigate. They check up on areas, make sure everyone's doing all right. They're sent out to do a number of chores and errands. You can always join the Knights too.
Don't the knights always sit still more often than not? I don't know if I can stay in one place for that long.
Eh, I guess. Knights are pretty boring, anyways. What about the Mages Guild?
You're starting to try to tell me I should learn magic?
Well, I don't think you're smart enough to learn magic, but that ability could prove very, well, intriguing for a lot of them. They always were the more scholarly type, might be able to find out more about it.
But do we really want to know more about it? I mean, I really shouldn't be using it as much as I am, should I?
If you don't know how to control your own power, then you can't bring out the whole potential of it.
Yeah, you've said that before. I mean, I've only gotten this much control because you've been helping so much.
My knowledge only goes so far. I'm not some magi or anything, not some court mage or count or anything. It might do you some good to stop by the Mage Guild to see if you can get any information on the source or how you even got such an ability.
I don't know, I feel like they just turned me into some kind of science experiment.
And that may be true. But if that's the case, then you just punch the shit out of them until they let you go.
Yeah, but then aren't I the bad guy? Because I went to them for help, and then I had to fight my way out? That just seems like a stupid idea.
His eyes focus on you. Silver, in time you'll know that we're all the bad guys. That's just the way the world works. There are no good guys out there. It's us versus nature. And nature is the good guys, and us humans are the ones that's plaguing it. That's why we're all wiped out thousands of years ago in the first place. It's just it's a matter of how you of how bad you want to be, and what you want to get out of it.
I just look into the fire of the camp. I don't know.
He takes another bite of his food, swallows. So, what do you think happens when you die?
My mouth hangs open as I just ponder for a moment.
He asked it relatively nonchalantly, still chewing and biting onto more of his food.
I've never really thought about it, but I guess you move on.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it, I suppose. He swallows, and then his expression changes. You know, never told anyone this before, but I died once.
I raise an eyebrow as I look at him with one, like, very wide eye.
He glances over to you for a moment, and then his eyes shift back to the fire. Yeah, it was long ago. Those that couple that we took out in that village about a month ago. They technically killed me. It was years and years ago, of course. And of course, I mean, here I am alive and well and not dead. So I'm sure you have questions, but it's strange. It felt like it wasn't my time.
Well, maybe it really wasn't their time either, but you kind of sealed that for them.
Well, I owed him for more than just that, sure. But when it was all done and over with, when I was, you know, dead, it's like you see everything not as it is, but as it should be. It was surreal. It was dark, but not not warm dark. It still felt like I had more to accomplish, more to do, more to see or experience.
Maybe that's all just the regrets you had in life.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I haven't sampled more fine food around here. But I always thought that once someone dies, that they're reborn, like that phoenix we had back there. But then there's certain things out there that prevent you from being reborn. Like if you're a bad person, you're just screwed, you know?
Well, isn't that why we should just always strive to be better?
But it's not that easy. Define better. What is to be better in this world? To protect people, to look after them? At what point does it become from you being you to you being better? I wasn't always this way, you know. I was once one of those better people. I protected others. I looked after other people. I had a team. But then when I died, I didn't go someplace better. I thought I was better, but upon being dead, it didn't nothing good happened. So I said screw it, you know? What's the point?
As in, it got too hard for you, so you decided to give up on it? You just couldn't handle it anymore?
You don't understand. Before I died, I was the paragon of my city, of my village. Everyone came to me for everything. I was a knight. I was somebody. I had a wife. I had people that I loved, that loved me. And I thought, I no, I knew I was a good person, but apparently not enough for whatever fate's damn plans were. I died and I was stuck wandering around thinking that, oh, is this it? And when I came to, however I came to, it's like none of that even mattered anymore. What was even the damn point?
Point is, you did everything you could. You got to where you were. You had people that loved you. Technically still do, but I guess you just don't see that.
His eyes sipped around. They looked to be deep in thought. Maybe. Maybe not, though. I've always thought, well, not always, but recently, that it doesn't matter what life is or how you live it. At the end of the day, everyone's going to die. You're all going to return to the earth, even you as an elf. With your long lifespan, one day you too will die. And then all those people that mattered to you, all the people that loved you or you loved, or the people who are friends or you protect, that doesn't matter anymore. You're gone. And you're just causing them pain and sorrow and sadness. What the hell is the point of it?
Because you did everything to leave your mark on the world. You did everything you possibly could to be there. For every moment, every turn, for better or worse. Is that not what we live for?
He gestures off in the distance to the ogre statue that y'all passed previously. There still seem to be some fires from when the phoenix around, so you can still barely see it in the dark, even with your elf vision. See that statue there? That is time immemorial, unmemorable right there. Do you know the story of that statue?
I shake my head no.
See my point? You may leave your mark upon the land. You may be made into a paragon of a city or a region. People may build statues of you, write stories, turn you into myth. But eventually people forget, just like that statue over there.
And you did. Nothing is forever,
So we're just a speck in existence.
I suppose.
It
But
makes
some
everything
specks,
so inconsequential.
but aren't some specks bigger than others? Don't some shine brighter before they burn out and disappear forever?
They're all specks in the end. When I die, Silver, I'm not going to a good place. I don't think that there is such a place. So being a better person, as you say, not much to it.
Maybe I'm just delusional about it then. But I don't
Well,
know that I can just turn my back on people in need. We're only here for so long, and everyone has a right to enjoy it and be there for it.
I'm not one to tell you how to live your life, kid. I'm just the bastard guardian that managed to find you.
Well, kind of as my father at this point. Aren't you one to direct me like that? Is that not part of that exchange? As I gesture with my hand back and
He
forth between me and
shrugs.
him.
Well, as I said, I taught you everything I know. The rest is on you, kid.
I'm sure you still have more you can teach me.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Well, it's best for us to turn in then.
I'll take first watch, as usual.
Yeah, right. And he goes into his tent. And he falls asleep.
I lean
I
back
mean,
against whatever log or rock I've been sitting on, and I just gaze into the sky.
the stars are pretty vast out there. Some are bigger than others. Some twinkle and shine brighter than others.
Just specks in the world, huh?
A few hours pass. He emerges from his tent, sleepy eyed, and taps you on the shoulder, nudging you to get to sleep.
I get up and stretch. Alright. Now go lay down. Pass out. Or attempt to pass out.
He too looks at the night sky, looking at the stars. Morning eventually comes as he kind of goes to the tent and nudges your sleeping bag. Hey,
Mm.
hey, wake up.
I slowly open my eyes, gazing at him. What?
Shh. Come outside real quick.
I let out a big yawn as I pull myself up and slowly make my way out of the tent. What is it?
He crouches down as he signals you to come towards where the behind the sign.
Let out another yawn. And follow.
He purses a finger to his lips and then points off towards the statue. Can you roll a spot check?
I knew that was coming.
You look in the opposite way. You are still tired, like immensely. He smacks the back of your head.
Ah!
Wake up, damn it! You're
Do
gonna
you,
miss it.
do you want me to roll another spot check?
Yes, please. In the distance, next to the statue, you see it's very, very early morning. It's like you still see dew around. You hear crickets. A lot of the wildlife kind of returning to the area. You see this blue. What looks to be like a rabbit. It's glowing, and you can kind of feel the energy hum from there. Do you
What the hell
see
was
it?
that? Rabbit?
That species is rare as shit.
So
It's also
special
said
about
to
it.
be quite delectable. It's a rarity.
Oh, of course, your stomach's talking again.
Well, as he pulls out a bow,
As I rub sleep from my eyes.
if I can bag that, we're going to be eaten well tonight. As he aims the bow, rolling to hit.
Oh, you better not miss then.
Shh. It'll set my concentration. He fires and misses. He looks to you. Shut up. Before you even say anything, shut up. I'm gonna get that thing. Stay here, watch the camp. I'm gonna be right back. As he darts off into the distance, tracking the rabbit. See him duck behind rocks, jumping over the ogre statue's arm. He heads towards the distance where the caves are.
I'm gonna jump back on top of the caravan to give me a higher point of view. I don't know if I can actually see him from there or not.
You do see him. He begins kind of crouching and still moving off towards the caves, and then eventually he does leave line of sight. Minutes pass. Hours passed. What are you doing?
Well, after probably about the first hour, I make my way back into the camp and put out whatever fire we had. And then I would sit around and wait for a little bit longer still. Uh, Probably somewhere around the 10 or 11 o'clock range. I'd start packing some things up and getting things ready.
You do notice packing things up that his tent was already packed and is no longer there.
After I've gotten all my stuff packed up and made sure everything's back to normal for the area, I'd grab my stuff and sit and wait on top of the caravan for a little while. Probably for another couple hours.
Hours pass. There is no sign of him.
I'd have to get up and then start moving towards the cave. And I would have to go inspect it.
Moving maps.
Yeah, so. Guess I'd
Okay.
move. I'd inspect and see if I see him around here for whatever reason.
No, there's no sign of him.
I guess it wouldn't hurt to go look now.
You can roll wilderness tracking too.
I'll do that too. Oop.
You do find what appears to be his footprint. They appear to be relatively recent, a few hours old. They don't go into the cave at all.
Okay. Well, before I look at them, or before I deal with them, I'd peek my head inside the cave still
Mm-hmm.
and take a look at where the eggs and everything were in the back, just to see. Guess you want a spot check for that too.
Search check for that. Okay. Upon further examination, the eggs appear to be actually intact. The orb that was placed below is generating a very expansive heat source. It's keeping the eggs warm.
I knew you couldn't do it either. As I smile slightly on the inside. As then I pick back up the tracks, and I would attempt to follow them.
The tracks lead off to the right, but as soon as they exit the path, the tracks suddenly disappear. There is no trace of them.
What the hell did you do this time? Had we come this way before on any travels at all?
No, the area is unfamiliar to you.
Do I have a? Well, no, not an inventory, so I guess I don't have a map or anything like that he would have left me.
Roll a spot check.
Check.
Okay. Off to the side, you do see a bow. It appears to be his old bow.
I'd pick it up. That's secure.
Slightly off to the side, you go what looks to be a trail of blood. Very small spattering.
I slowly follow it, putting my guard up.
Sorry, I'm making another map real quick.
Yep.
Actually, take a 5-minute break before I think that real quick. Use the restroom real quick as well.
Okie doke. I can cut that out in the edit process. So weird that it doesn't capture. Huh. Or why it's not actually picking that up.
Do what?
Just messing with XSplit while you were gone. But when we first started, I was trying to actually capture the map screen, but for some reason it's not picking up Chrome. It realizes it's there because I can see my mouse moving on the recording, just not the actual video for it.
Weird.
Like it's accurately capturing the entire monitor, just not anything on it.
Okay, I think I have the map finished. I'll go ahead and pull you over. All right, continuing.
We made it to the beach.
Yes, the blood trail seems to lead to a beach coastal area. You see the waves crashing around below.
Yeah, I keep up my guard as I continue to follow them. I guess you'll have to move me for the moment.
Okay, I will. So you're essentially following the coast, sitting onto the beach, and it stops at the waves. The waves seem to have washed away the rest of the blood, but you do see an animal carcass also that's caught in the draft, not the draft, but the whatever it's called, the waves. It appears to be that blue rabbit. It has an arrow sticking in it, and it's been washed ashore.
What the hell did you do this time? As I go and inspect the rabbit.
Can you roll an investigate check?
I can.
Okay. The rabbit seems to be essentially untouched. The arrow has what appears to be a little canister on it.
I take and look at the canister. Does it have any like markings or anything on it?
No marking, but it seems like you can open it.
I open it then.
Inside is a note.
Can I read said note?
You can
I
go
will do
ahead and
so.
roll decipher script.
I didn't know if it was in a language I actually understood or not.
Not a language, or it's in a different language. It appears to be.
Oh, it's in
It's
a
written in
different language.
Elven.
But I know Elven.
Are you like fluent or proficient?
Fluent is what you told me before.
Okay, then yeah, you don't need to roll decipher. Then you're good. It reads, Silvyr, I've taught you everything you didn't need to know. The existential portion of your life is up to you. I'm hunting this bounty alone. I fear that if I bring you along with me, it could cause you great harm, or even worse. I've lost much in my life, and though I may not be the person I used to be, I still value the time we shared. Good luck
That
on your travels.
sappy bastard.
And written below is his name.
Before I read the name, I just fold it up and keep it with me.
Okay.
I take in a deep breath and sigh. What the fuck do I do
The
now?
waves casually crash the shore. Um, against the rock you're next to, there appears to be a backpack.
I turn and look at it.
Inside is full of various types of food.
You could have at least taken the food with you. I'll pick up the backpack. Shake my head again. And is this like a wall right here too? Or is this like just a hole?
It's a whole.
Can I actually just lean against that rock?
You can.
Well, I will sit in front of the rock and lean back against it. looking out at the waves in the ocean and contemplate what the hell do I do next for
Now,
a while.
now in the session there.
All right, I guess
GG.
stop the recording then.